Previously on Legacy of the Jungle, Episode 1. A sudden fire tore through the jungle. In the chaos, a playful young cub named Kale was separated from his family. Kale is a young jaguar born into a proud lineage of jungle guardians. Kale's father, Zaru, was a very strong, respected old-school jungle guardian who taught Kale so much discipline. He was the guardian king of the jungle. But after this mysterious fire, Kale is forced out of his home territory with nothing but the echo of their voices and the scent of ash in the air. Kale must find his way alone, journey across the jungle to uncover the truth, unite rival animal tribes, and reclaim his legacy. As the sun rises beyond the canopy, Kale wandered into the unknown, a deeper part of the jungle where even the winds moved cautiously. The trees seemed denser and older here, vines hanging like curtains. Kale walked slowly, limping slightly, eyes scanning every corner. His fur is dusty, and his face shows signs of tiredness as he makes his way through the unfamiliar jungle. The jungle feels thicker and more alive. Every sound makes him twitch. Every shadow feels like it might leap. The trees here whispered secrets, and every step felt like a question waiting for an answer. He remembers Zaru's words. A guardian listens with more than ears. The trees speak to those who hear. Leaves rustle. A distant, eerie bird call echoes. Kale hears soft laughter, and something drops from the branches above. A leaf drops and lands on Kale's head. Miko, a fast-talking, energetic capuchin monkey, swings down, perching upside down on a branch. Cheeky's smile with a bandana made of leaves tied around his head and nuts stuffed in his cheeks. Just then, Kale was a bit reassured that he was never truly alone. Miko said, "Whoa, a big cat on my branch? That's a bold move, Stripes." Kale was immediately angry and responds sharply, "They're spots, and I'm not in the mood." Miko flips, swings, and lands beside Kale. Jungle birds fly past. Miko walks on his hands. With laughter on Miko's face, he said, "My name is Miko. I know where the rivers run backward and where the panthers don't bother to look. You want out of here, you need me." Kyle rolls his eyes in anger and walks off, feeling bothered by the monkey. Miko follows him, bouncing from tree to tree, annoying but helpful. He knows the jungle well. By evening, Miko leads Kyle to an ancient clearing. There, under a giant tree root, lives Tambo, a slow-talking ancient giant tortoise whose shell carries the stories of generations. Though a slow talker, but his words cut deep with reflective meanings. Tambo breaks the silence, saying, "I felt the fire before it reached the trees. Something dark is shifting." He warns Kale, this was no accident. Fire that thinks, moves, spreads without wind. That is not the jungle's doing. There was a certain prophecy in the jungle that has been told over years about the one who walks alone and returns with all. Kale has once heard about this prophecy from his father Zaru, but never knew the person in that prophecy was himself. Tambo believes Kale could be that one, but only if he survives the coming tests on his journey. Tambo lifts his head toward Kyle and said, "There is a prophecy of the one who walks alone and returns with all." The jungle remembers those words. And you, young one, carry their scent. Kyle looks uncertain, but something stirs in him. As Kale and Miko leave Tambo's house, moving through a darker part of the forest. Nightfall. The wind is still. They hear something stalking them. Suddenly, there are whispers, low and chilling. Glowing eyes appear in the trees. A voice from the trees said, "But not every path is watched by friends, and not every eye sees with kindness." Branches crack. A shadow dashes across the treetops. Miko whispers, Kyle, are you seeing this too?" They're being watched, but by what? They catch a brief glimpse, something with glowing eyes, moving unnaturally fast, almost like a shadow with claws. Kyle prepares to fight, but whatever it is, vanishes into the dark. After a while of waiting ready to fight, everywhere seemed calm again, without any traces of the shadow. They continued their journey, walking deeper into the forest, without Kyle even knowing where they were going. It is already late in the night. Kyle and Miko walks up to a river. The riverbank is quite moonlight reflects on the water. Miko sits beside Kyle, quieter now. Crickets chirp. In the stillness, truths speak louder than fear, and even the loudest monkey learns when to whisper. After a few moments of silence, Miko asked quietly, "You think your family's still out there?" Kyle replied, "I don't know, but I have to believe they are, or I won't make it either." Kyle looks into the river, his reflection beside the stars. Kale's eyes comes in contact with his reflection in the water. He stared at it for a brief moment. His father's image, mirrored in his mind, sits beside him in the reflection and then fades away. The jungle had awakened, and so had Kale's purpose, but many whispers still echoed in the trees. What a journey that was, and I'm so glad you walked it with me. Thank you for being here, for watching, feeling, and connecting with the story. Every view, every comment, it fuels the next step. Episode 3 is already stirring in the trees, and I can't wait to share what's coming. Until then, stay close. This adventure's far from over. The real story lies ahead. And if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a little adventure, and of course, subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming in episode 3. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what part spoke to you the most, or which moment you enjoyed best. Your voices matter to me. See you in episode 3.